All right, guys, part 4. So Superman receives a fragment message from his birth parents. The first part, a loving goodbye, is interpreted as a message of hope and encouragement to do good on Earth. However, Lex Luthor and others later discovered and translate a second damaged part of the message, suggesting Superman should rule Earth with an iron fist and create a new Kryptonian race by taking multiple wives. The interpretation creates conflict and uncertainty about the true meaning and potential tampering of the message. So basically, they wanted him to like enslave and make hybrid kids. Now we don't know technically if the second part is true or not, because in most Superman movies, that's not true. He was sent to Earth to protect other people. But the other thing that fans believe is that Kara will be able to clarify the message, but that's not true whatsoever, because the twist is that James Gunn says that Supergirl was actually born after Superman, potentially off Krypton or on another part of Krypton before it exploded, seeing as she's younger than him biologically in the story, not being put through stasis like in the CW show, where she doesn't age and Superman does, and that's how he becomes older. Will the message be decanonized at a later time to help the other stories flow? Who knows? At the end of the film, Superman renounces his bio parents and starts watching clips from his childhood with his adoptive parents. So in the end, I don't really think that he's like that. Now remember, in the CW show, the brain control thing from Krypton, Marietta, I think it was called, the reason it didn't work on Supergirl is because her mind was still Kryptonian and stuff, but it worked on Superman because he was raised by human parents. So it could be something along the lines of that, where Supergirl was raised by aliens or something. We'll have to wait and see what happens in Supergirl 2026 to see how the story progresses. But again, Supergirl can't really clarify this message whatsoever because she's younger than Superman and not older than Superman, so she wasn't on the planet when the message happened. She doesn't really know. She's not 13 in this story. She's still kind of a teenager and everything herself. So I don't really know how the story is going to change. But those are my thoughts for this part, guys. I'll see you in part 5 to end the story. Part 5 is really going to be about the terminology metahuman in this story, seeing as I don't really like it. And we'll talk more about that in the next part.